down to the east. It was so funny during that song. I was trying to focus in, say, "Father, bless my words," and then I couldn't. I kept thinking, maybe I can say something about, for maybe anybody who doesn't know, that I shoot all these things first thing in the morning. This is what I do in the morning. I pray and read the Word and record these devotions to share as part of my joyful blessing of ministry, and first thing in the morning. So the reason I'm always looking a little haggard and a little rough is I just woke up, and then it was amusing the heck out of me to be like, Lord, bless my words, and then be consumed with vanity. But such is the nature of man, played out. So that's why I thought I should share. I thought it was sort of funny. Today I was reading in Matthew 12, starting 33, and I read this. Either make the tree good and its fruit good, or else make the tree bad and its fruit bad. For a tree is known by its fruit. Brood of vipers. That was a favorite of Jesus's, by the way. I have to start using that more. Brood of vipers. How can you, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth evil things. But I say to you that for every idle word men may speak, they will give account of it on the day of judgment. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. Now, some may read that, I think, and see it in conflict with some other aspects of the gospel. Because really just around the same time, Christ was talking about murder and adultery, two sins all up in there, that those, say, thou shalt not murder, but I truly tell you, anybody who murders, holds anger in his heart against another, or who murders another in his mind, has committed murder. Same with adultery. I tell you, thou shalt not commit adultery is the law of God. But whoever lusts after a woman in his heart has committed adultery already. Heavy stuff. And it's funny because here he says, for you by your words shall be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. Which almost seems the opposite, right? It seems he keeps talking about this internal thing that is part and parcel to what goodness is. But it's funny too, also, he's by no means really is this contradiction. It's really an expansion. It's letting you know he's gonna. A lot of times he addressed things kind of like specifically, and I wonder if some of these things were in response. They're listed all at the same time, but I wonder if they were in response to things, because it's not like every piece that's next to the other piece seems to flow in any sort of order. It just seems different subjects or whatever. So this subject is the tree known by its fruit, which I really dig, because it's like, it's pretty dang obvious, and I think so many of us are like, get caught up in that. You see those people whose either like lives are, well, everyone's life is kind of a wreck, but let's say their lives are a wreck, and everything they seem to say and do about people is just it's catty, negative, is just filled with aspersion and whatnot. Some people's fruit is pretty dag obvious, and those the thing that he speaks of here is not that really we aren't even our own gardeners in this land of fruit. So you look around, you can easily see how people, like, what people's fruit is, maybe the bounty of friendships, maybe the But a lot of fruit is meant to be eternal, too. It's kind of complicated because it's be known by its fruit. So in some of this, you can say, oh, yeah, I get that. But I guess that's why he says, brood of vipers. How can you, being evil, speak good things? And you're wondering, like, who's he talking to here? Who's the brood of vipers? Now, to a degree, I would go ahead and say that he's talking to everybody. How can you, being evil, speak good things? Because I, in and of myself, separate from God, can bear no good fruit. I, in and of myself, can bear no good fruit. I can do things that could be seen as well and fine and good, maybe even helpful here on this plane. But I, in and of myself, can bear no good fruit. Because genuinely good fruit is fruit that sustains more than just your mouth for a minute. Like, this sort of fruit is beyond, is obviously a metaphor. And not just goodness of this earth is being called for, but good fruit is something that not only bears itself out in the sweetness and the truth of it, of the thing, of the living, but of the words. And here, I guess he does riff specifically on the fruit of one's tongue. So let your tongue speak good fruit, and not only let your entire self be gardened, be transformed, be renewed by God Himself. That the goodness of God can be expressed through your words, in your fruit. And that's good fruit. That's why he's like, how can you, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And how long do we linger in the abundance of the heart? In fits and starts. At least for myself. Some days are good and some days are others. And the abundance of the heart. And the abundance of the heart he's talking about here is not just typical like, oh man, my friends are amazing. It's, I'm so filled with love for them. Let me do this good thing. Let me bear some good fruit. This thing that will greatly affect their lives and let them know how loved they are in this world and blah, 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 blah. But the abundance of the heart he's talking about is that same application. Oh man, my friends are so great. My parents are so great. My brother and sister are so great. I need to do this thing. Applying that. But that abundance, letting it be for all. Those who have scorned you, those who talk behind your back, those who try to get you fired because they want your gig, like literally your enemies. Do good to those who spitefully use you. I mean, that sort of abundance of the heart, to be that loving to those who essentially spit in your face. Either, maybe not literally, I don't know that many literal face spitters, but those who do it to you, in action, or even in thought. You can tell that people out there, for some reason, are totally out to, like, sabotage you, but to love them with that same, to bear good fruit towards them, that's the kind of eternal fruit he's talking about. And let your words be cautious. Man, that's another trick. Because I, through the veil of comedy, so often have been like, well, I can say anything. It's comedy. It's covered by the comedy principle. But he's saying, for every idle word, watch your words, y'all. Let your words be supportive, compassionate, but truthful as well. Don't let them fall into not untruth, just to be trying to be sweet. Let them be filled with truth and holiness and compassion and mercy. Mercy like we've received mercy. Amen. Selah.